Hello everybody and welcome to some more Dota 2 open, face-it stuff. No, that's dumb. Hello everybody and welcome to some more Dota 2 action. This is Party PD casting some more Dota 2 2016 International
remaining.
Open qualifiers. We are here against this
5
team
seconds
known as
remaining.
Dota versus AHL. And we're going to go straight into the bans here. Immediately, the Dire will ban out
Dire
Sven,
team ban.
and the counter ban will be the Lifestealer. Lifestealer has been seeing a lot of love recently throughout the... I just realized I don't have open mic on, so they're not going to hear anything. Go.
10 seconds remaining.
Lifestealer being banned right off of the top, on top of this Sven here.
5
so Sven
seconds
providing a
remaining.
lot of early game farming capability, with the other hand on
Reserve
the
time.
Radiant ban with Lifestealer being a very strong character in this current meta at the
Radiant
moment, being able to
team ban.
purge magic debuffs on top of being able to deal massive damage, as well as using the, as I call it, Gromblade, but as it actually is called, the Echo Saber, being able to deal as much damage as they can to the enemy hero within the rapid succession of 2 hits. Beastmaster and
Dire
Slardar
team
will be
pick.
banned out. Slardar, another person very good in the current meta for the offlane capability, as well as Beastmaster, who is also very well in the
Faceless
offlane
Void.
load up here. Looks like Faceless Void will be the
Radiant
first pick
team
for the
pick.
Dire, so most likely this might be the offlane Faceless, since it was a first pick Faceless. But of course, I don't know what's going through their heads, and neither should you. If you do, you need to see a doctor, because most likely that's not actually happening. Vengeful Spirit is going to be the pickup
Radiant
for Radiant
team
here,
pick.
possibly to counter out the Faceless Void, stunning him through Chrono, or swapping a character that is more important, vitally important, out of the Chronosphere. Vengeful Spirit, a very good pickup against this Faceless Void, to prevent direct contact with certain characters.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Phoenix not actually making
Dire
it
team
making it
pick.
through the first ban phase, so we are going to see a Phoenix game. And I mean, I've seen Phoenix banned out nearly almost every time in the international right now, so, or in the qualifiers. Phoenix is making its way very
10
very quickly
seconds
up the ladder
remaining.
for how powerful and how strong this character actually is.
5
Many
seconds
people
remaining.
back in before Manila misunderstood the damage of Sunray, and Sunray now the
Reserve
most
time.
high damaging early game ability for Phoenix. She obviously has a better advantage in this international than any other character that can run the off lane. Actually, this could also be a Phoenix off lane or a Phoenix safe lane. Or no, I doubt it's going to be a Phoenix safe lane. Lion going to be the first support pickup here
Radiant
for the Dire.
team
Just
ban.
another good character with double stuns, and he's got a lot of stuff for this meta that makes him actually relevant to how the game should be. With 2 stuns, a mana disable, and then obviously the burst damage. These 2 very squishy heroes that
10
start out squishy.
seconds
Phoenix will
remaining.
eventually tank, but Vengeful Spirit will never tank.
5 seconds
These 2
remaining.
very squishy heroes can die very easily and very quickly to this Lion early pickup.
Dire team ban.
Slardar being banned out for the side of the Radiant, and most likely just to prevent any sort of roaming capabilities with the Slardar from the Dire, or Slark from the Dire. So I could see Slark was actually probably a good safe lane pick against this Vengeful Spirit.
10 seconds
and to
remaining.
Sap the Phoenix of stats, but maybe just another personal
5
ban.
seconds
Maybe not.
remaining.
Phantom Assassin,
Radiant
actually, very
team
interesting ban
ban.
coming out from nobody, and it's very strange because Phantom Assassin currently has the most unreliable carry potential in Dota 2.
Dire
Ever.
team ban.
So it'll be very interesting to see what they want to do with that and why they decided to ban that. Timbersaw currently seen probably maybe 3rd most played or most banned in the qualifiers right now, and
10 seconds remaining.
yeah, that's pretty much it. Timbersaw is just a lot of magic
5
damage, a lot
seconds
of
remaining.
abilities that ends up providing a lot of space for instance damaging. Looks like Disruptor will be
Radiant
banned out as
team
well,
pick.
so there is going to be no cancelization for this Faceless Void Chronosphere, other than a vengeful swap and maybe an egg directly into it or outside
Dire team
of it.
pick.
Lynx will be a pickup here for the Radiant, a very strong damaging character, but massive roaming potential and needs to have plenty of farm in order to actually be relevant throughout the rest of the game. So it'll be interesting to see, what and who they do
10 seconds
next in these
remaining.
picks here for Dream Team.
5 seconds remaining.
I mean, there's always these personal picks that I myself would love to see people pick.
Reserve the
but I mean,
time.
Clinks did make it through the ban and draft stage, and instead of Timbersaw, I mean, the Clinks was picked up. Bounty Hunter and Ricky's still available, and could very well be something that nobody wants to pick up here. Maybe a Ricky would be a really good idea against this Phoenix and this Vengeful Spirit, being able to silence while inside the smoke sphere. Faceless Void dropping Chrono onto it, and then there's no way that they could escape with Tricks of the Trade. Ricky actually, in my opinion, probably one of the best picks they want to get here, because if they let it go through, they actually get Night Stalker instead.
Radiant
I guess
team
can be
pick.
just as situational here. They will have a gem. They will end up running the Night Stalker Act gems up against this Clinks, which will allow them a lot more roaming potential than predicted.
10 seconds remaining.
I don't really see too many
5
too
seconds
many other
remaining.
decisions here for Dream Team at the moment. They lack the durability and the firepower
Reserve
in
the
order to take
time.
certain team fights against this Night Stalker Faceless Void. So I guess something that could be somewhat viable is not really a Magnus, but I mean, Invoker, he still made it through the pool here. He is a very viable pick for any side right now. Invoker, a very good mid hero. Most likely this will be either a safe or mid Clinks with Phoenix offlane, Vengeful Spirit roam. So I guess what they want to do is they want to have either a sustainable mid or sustainable safe lane, and possibly a jungle, either a Nature's Prophet or a well, not really Nature's Prophet. NP doesn't really provide a lot of power come early game, and most games are the average of 32 minutes at this point, so it'll be very interesting to see how these teams are going to try and dominate the early game to make it to where they can actually get somewhere come late game. Faceless Void does carry. Death Prophet actually is picked up for the mid
Dire team
on Dream
pick.
Team here, so that's actually going to be fairly good against whoever they put in the mid here, because right now they don't. Dire don't have a mid, a suitable mid at least. Night Stalker can go mid, but he's not the best. Night Stalker can go mid, but
10
obviously if Death Prophet
seconds
and Night
remaining.
Stalker are in the same lane, Night Stalker could, if he had plenty of roaming potential, end up
5
killing Death
seconds
Prophet
remaining.
fairly easy in the mid lane with no hesitation. But the Dire are still down one more support
Reserve the
here, and I
time.
doubt the Night Stalker is going to go for a semi-core support with the Lion on the same team. So most likely this will be a position 3 Night Stalker, and they still need to get out whoever their 4 or 5 will be. And then they obviously need the hard carry. Looks like Tiny will be the hard carry pickup here, actually.
Radiant team
So this will be
ban.
fairly interesting because his stun doesn't actually pierce Phoenix Egg, but if he gets his Echo Saber, he will be able to drop down the Phoenix Egg at least 2 times quicker than expected here. So it looks like they're going primarily for
10
team
seconds
fight
remaining.
prevention status over here on Nobody versus Dream Team's
5 seconds
not
remaining.
team fight-ish kind of setup here, but they have a counter team fight to Faceless Void Chrono.
Reserve the
So
time.
I think what Dire ended up doing is they baited out the Faceless Void in order to get some sort of counter Faceless Void Chronospheres ultimates and characters picked up, and then they decided to pick up characters that would counter those in specific, and then carry out damage throughout the rest of the game. Tiny, obviously, if he ends up bashing, or if he bashes anything, they don't have any melee on Dream Team right now, so the Cracked Carapace for Tiny, or whatever it is for him, I'm pretty sure it's Craggy Exterior, yeah, so right now Craggy Exterior is not very extensive and good for Tiny, since he's not actually facing any melee characters. Queen of Pain actually very suitable
Dire
for
team
Dire. Was
ban.
banned out against the Dream Team here. A very strong amount of burst. More burst. Just a lot of burst. So they're going to have to find some sort of other suitable mid here that is ranged, but can still
10
provide a decent
seconds
amount of damage
remaining.
here. I mean, they still have the Puck. Puck is definitely still
5
available
seconds
here. And
remaining.
They ban out the Lone Druid. And they pick up Terracotta instead. So this will be a very
Radiant
strange
team
lineup, because
pick.
this might be a mid-Tiny instead then, with a Terrorblade in the safe lane, Faceless. Well, this is actually going to be a very strange way to play, because there are 4 semi-cores or cores on the side of the
10
Dire here,
seconds
forced to
remaining.
pick heroes that can easily counter out the counter
5
team fight of the
seconds
Dream Team.
remaining.
So this will be fairly interesting to see how they go along
Reserve
with
the
this here.
time.
Dream Team, they get an extra 30 seconds here to figure out what they want to do to counter out this very strength-heavy lineup. Lifestealer being banned out by them, actually, not being able to counteract on this team fight. Super heavy team fight potential here. Silencer is not going to be a good choice because they lack the durability in order to fight here. So they're going to need some sort of durable carry or some sort of durable, basically. At this point, Axe is still available. Axe can be very good against this
10
melee
seconds
lineup here,
remaining.
Terrorblade, I mean, though he is a ranged character, technically, they will pick up a Chaos Knight, actually, instead, which is actually a very questionable pick against this Tiny. So this will be a very interesting game to figure out and see how Nobody will end up taking out Dream Team, or Dream Team will end up rolling over Nobody. It'll be very interesting to see with this 4 melee lineup versus this 4 ranged lineup. And, yeah. So, for those of you who have just joined, this is Party PD casting the, I guess it just says Face It League up there, but I'm pretty sure this is also the qualifiers. So, 2016 Dota 2 International Qualifiers. I hope you have enjoyed and are continuing to enjoy this, and pay no attention to my ping, because I'm in the US. Oh wow, why did my ping spike? That's actually really bad. Wonder how bad that sounds. Oh well. Looks like I'm not the only one getting the ping issues here. Looks like Dirtum over here is also getting some sort of heavy connection issues with 3D Seed on the side of their team. Fourth one being... with the fourth one being Pink on the other team here. But I'd love to go over the analyzations for the teams, but I only have 2 people on the Radiant, of which I usually start my analyzations on. So we will have to let this slide until the rest of the team connects here. And I guess if Pink connects here first, we might as well start with the Dire. But if everything goes to crap, we might have to dismiss this game and then jump into another one, if that is actually an available option. Looks like we did get the Dire pick up first, so that means we will go over the Dire heroes. We will go over the Dire heroes versus the Radiant first. So, let's just jump in here. Lion will be played by Alulo. Moonmen will be played by... will be playing Terrorblade. Can't pronounce that name. Is going to be playing Faceless Void. Skyfall is on the Night Stalker, and 1997 will be playing Tiny. Over on the Radiant, what we have so far at least, Forkego will be on Chaos Knight. RS Razor will be on Clinks. AFK will be on Phoenix. And Death Prophet loading in. Cusa will be on Death Prophet, and Wasad Dust will be on the Vengeful Spirit. And the couriers are on the ground. Couriers on the ground here. So we got the Angel Demon by AFK. It apparently has 36-something Roshan kills. And we have the new courier from the Compendium. So it looks like we're going to get an immediate smoke off of this Lion. And a smoke off the Night Stalker. So they are going to pick up smokes really early here to try and get this counteractive fight on bottom. But no Terrorblade Arcana, by the way, guys. So that is going to be, if you're all anal about no Arcanas, then that's what you got to deal with. Fresh Terrorblade doesn't actually look that bad. Looks like they want to they pop a fortification actually really early without actually doing anything here. So that's actually a little bit of a problem. 5-minute waste on that cooldown, but they are going to smoke. They pop it off of the Lion here. Looks like they might actually be lagging. I'm lagging as well. Skyrocketing up to 300 ping at the moment. But we're gonna have to deal with it since I am on a US, or I am on a
30
Europe
seconds
server,
to battle.
casting as a US caster. So we will have to end up dealing with that throughout the rest of the day. It looks like this smoke might actually find somebody if they're not too careful. Her Clinks is on the edge, but not too much on the edge here. Looks like they didn't smoke. They find the Clinks. Lion's in a really bad spot here. He didn't actually trigger. Faceless Void triggers it off, but there's nothing there. There's no bash available. Invis is thrown out, and there's no way they're going to get that kill. Smoke wasted fairly early in the game. But they did end up getting the top rune. In exchange, the top rune, bot rune will go to the Tiny. So this will be a Tiny mid then. Or will it? Are we 5-manning mid? Oh my gosh, is this happening? Is this... Oh my gosh, I was going to be so happy if there was going to be a 5-man mid game. That would have been such a fun game to cast, but this game will still be fun to cast anyway. But that would have been crazy. Anyway, it looks like I was right. We do have the Death Prophet mid with the tiny mid as well. Meanwhile, top we have a tri-lane actually. A try-hard lane, which is going to be very controversial actually. Chaos Knight really needs levels at the beginning stages of the game here versus, you know, just not having them. It's very important that Chaos Knight ends up getting levels. That's going to end up being a problem with this aggressive try. Safe lane. And this Clinks is actually solo safe lane, so it'll be very hard for him because the Lion is actually down here, as well as the Terrorblade, who is in ranged form, or has spec ranged form, Metamorphosized. And this will be an issue for this Clinks. I will have to admit that the Clinks is going to have to play a little bit protective here. Phoenix already taken a bit of damage from creeps by the looks of it. Tango is already being expended. And Chaos Knight, they're going to try and go on Faceless. They're not going to... Oh, they can't layer the stuns correctly. Faceless Boy does relocate out. But all the trees are busted open here, so Phoenix does have direct sight of problem here. So it'll be a problem for this Faceless Void that these trees are opened up, and Phoenix will have easy gank potential here. Nightstalker low as well. He's in the jungle though, so there's not really much that they're going to be able to do against that. He will end up going for more an aggressive lineup, specking into Void, possibly going to 3-1-1 build. Looks like they might try to catch out the Faceless again here, but there's not enough damage or another stun. They're gonna try. He's gonna try and bait the stun out of the Vengeful Spirit, but it's not gonna happen. All the teams getting fairly low HP here. Tiny actually in the mid, causing a little bit of problems. He's actually 11-0 to the 8-2 Death Prophet, picking up the DD without the bottle yet. And Tony, not. He does have the bottle actually. Courier coming in with something else on top of that. Lion trying to counter farm this pole stack does get the heavy camp. Heavy creep, so that is a little bit of gold there. That is actually his boots if he wants to pick up the flat part of his triangle. He's trying to get the non-range creep. Not gonna get it. Ground courier coming in through the middle here. Not really anyone on the side of the on Dirtum here that will be able to snipe that courier. But he is going fairly slowly here, so he will come back just as slow. Death Prophet just has enough money to end up getting that bottle. Looks like it's sitting here in the mid. Gotta be really careful, but NB does have the ability to snipe the courier if they wanted to with this roaming Nightstalker, I guess. But looks like he's gonna go into Tranquils. Top getting a little bit of damage here, but not enough to end up proposing a big threat. These trees being down, looks like they want to try and engage on... Nope, they're not gonna get it. And Phoenix is just going to throw souls out into the Great Oblivion here, trying to catch off the Faceless Void at all costs, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to do anything here. Chaos Knight at 16-2 to the Terrorblade, who's actually in the hard lane against this Clinks at 19-6. So a lot of farm going out for Moonman. Actually, it looks like it's a kill in mid, but it was actually split. So Death Prophet just diving a little bit too hard there against the heavy burst team that is NB. So they need to be really careful. In fact, he is going 2 specs in Hunter in the Night instead of 201. So a lot more roaming coming out from this Nightstalker. Well, right now, actually. He will be able to jungle a lot more efficiently. Faceless Void's getting kind of swamped here. He will end up getting stunned down. We're going to try and layer the stuns here. Faceless will be able to wipe it off, though. And he is just going to only have -4 armor with a salve still on him. Actually, he will get hit by the Sunbeam. That will slow him down a little bit more. And, you just got to be a little bit careful. This aggressive try off lane is not actually benefiting him a lot here. But it's just the same thing for the Clinks at this point. Because the Clinks is having the same issues, but the Clinks having more farm. 14-0 as a range character. Third has his boots actually. He's gotten a lot of farm at 29-8 and 21-1 actually with this Tony in the mid. Getting a kill on top of that. You see that there's no mana on the Nightstalker, but they still want to try and engage him. Faceless Void has to be a little bit careful, but Chaos Knight does only have Reality Growth, but has Mango too. Salve will be used up to prevent any further tormentation.
You get nothing.
He's actually doing fairly well for being a solo safe lane against an aggressive tri-lane such like this. 2 stuns that end up doing a large amount of damage on top of damage dropping it. Looks like Chaos Knight really just wants to improve on getting all of his CS here. He might go into a Midas. No, he will just go into boots, and he's going to drop the gloves on the ground. Possibly just sell your branch if you want it. No, he's not going to sell the branch. If he sold his branch, he probably wouldn't have been able to. No, he's not even going to worry about it. They're going to ping out his iron branch, and they're like, take my branch. But when my boots are completed, I will need it back. You can't deny iron branches, so there's not really much of a problem there. And 39 and 13. Oh boy. Sorry about that. 39 and 13 on this off-lane Terrorblade. He's doing fairly well here. Looks like he is going to go into a ring. Chaos Knight picking up his boots. Lion missing the stack on top here. Faceless Void trying to get enough
Dyer's
damage
middle
on top
tower
of
is
Vengeful
under
Spirit.
attack.
Only has 1 spec and bash. Here comes the Tony actually. Tony's going to come in and end up killing off the Vengeful. That's indefinitely going to happen there. So that's a good roam by the Tony, and it looks like the Night Stalker will come in while Tony is out and about here and try to get some damage against this now level 6 Death Prophet. Probably going to go level 7. Looks like they're going to Soul Siphon. Not going to have enough for the split here. Actually misses. Tony coming right back
Dyer's
in here.
middle
A little
tower
bit
is
slow on
under
his
attack.
wombo combo. But Lion's come in and he's got a haste and he's got stun. But not Wex. Not Hex.
Thanks.
Salves up the Night Stalker so he can try and get an engagement and get in mid. But lo and behold, Death Prophet is leaving the base, or leaving the mid, to go and start back up again in the base, basically. Faceless Void, now level 6, being able to use his Chronosphere if he ever needed it to. And he will be able to get his boots here soon. Glove of Haste will be shortly on his way with his Tower CS here. It looks like they want to try and go on him here. They threw out the ward. Maybe to try and find out what the plan is here by the Faceless Void, but he doesn't have the Quelling Blade and he has actually 3 branches, so he is a little bit more durable than he should be at a level 6. Tony, now picking up his boots, also has a smoke. There's a lot of smokes available on the side of NB here. There was a smoke on the Night Stalker, which is now dust, actually. That's probably where the smoke came from. And then, speaking of which, the Night Stalker, Iron Talon most likely going into stat boots. Faceless Void, gotta be a little bit careful here. He might actually get caught out. He's not careful. He is going to end up getting caught out. He does rewind just in time, though, without getting stunned by this Chaos Knight. Actually, Chaos Knight did not have enough for a stun, so there was no way that they were going to be able to do anything here. So, Faceless Void lives by the hair on his chinny chin chin, and will end up resetting to try and get some more farm here. He does have the ability to pick up his other part of his boots now, but his
Dyer's
Chaos Knight
top
is reality
tower is
rifting to
under
end up getting
attack.
CS. Looks like they use a scan, then they find out there's at least 1 person here. Tony is still dusted, but they don't actually see him. Tony doesn't have a blink either. And there's no way they're going to be able to do anything here. They want to dive, but looks like they triggered the smoke actually bot. Meanwhile, the Vengeful Spirit's actually getting wailed upon pretty effectively here. Wants to try and make sure that somebody else gets the carry
Radiant's
kill.
bottom
Looks like
tower is
that's not
under
gonna happen.
attack.
Actually, Night Stalker does end up getting the last hit, but Moon took a lot of damage from that tower dive. He actually has no specs and illusions, so he is going to have to play it a little safe here under the tower if he plans to get any direct kills here. Looks like that'll be the case. Meanwhile, Faceless Void will die on the top as well as Lion, who teleports into Roman, and nothing will occur for them there, greatly there. So that is the first 2 kills on the side of Dirtum, which
Dyer's
is actually a
structures
fairly
are
effective
fortified.
set of kills. That was a very good
Radiant
gold exchange
structures are
in the
fortified.
way. They are going to ult up on this tower so they can try and get it. Meanwhile, Terrorblade is going to get this last big one
Radiant's
tower. He
bottom
is going to
tower
swap
has
out
fallen.
the Kings here. He will die to a swap plus level 2 reflection. So that is a pretty easy kill
Dyer's
for him. He
top
actually
tower
kills off
has
the Clinks with
fallen.
no hesitation whatsoever. Clinks didn't have invis available, so he couldn't end up invising out in order to live throughout the rest of that fight. So he did end up dying fairly effectively against that Terrorblade swap.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Meanwhile,
attack.
top will be pushed in with the remaining spirits actually going to be recalled in less than a couple seconds here. Here they come right now as they speak. And they're just going to reset the farm of the Faceless on the top here. Lion, he will get scouted out by a ward. And they know that he's in there. The courier is actually coming in too. If he's not too careful, the courier can and will die. Oh, looks like he actually misses it. He could reality rift it. He doesn't know that that actually works against it because it's not magic immune. And Lion will be able to get out perfectly fine.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, it kind of looked like everybody was going to go on him, but not going to be the case. He doesn't know that it's there. Arcane Ruin being popped on the Death Prophet. They're probably going to try and get a lot of pushing potential in this mid while they can here. Phoenix, they pick up the first tome here, and the Night Stalker picks up the second one. Now level 7 with it. It looks like he is going directly into Aghanim Scepter here, but he is going to go to the mid to try to help out what they can, where they can. Drums. Tony's going to try and go on this Death Prophet. Didn't relocate it back here. All the stuns and burst damage going on Death Prophet, but she is out healing. No, she doesn't heal enough there. She will be down for 33 seconds. And she did end up using so that will also be on the cooldown. Night Stalker is popping Night Stalker Darkness here. Terrorblade trying to make it to where he live here, but he doesn't really have a lot of potential here. He actually has a Dragon Knight. Very interesting to see Terrorblade. He does end up living here. No, he won't be retired the last right, but he kind of will be dropped in here with Dead Chaos Knight. Looks like there's all these kills that are happening here. Vengeful Spirit will go down, but it looks like they're not going to be able to get this Clinks. He may be slowed, but there's not enough damage, and there's not enough anything else. There's another dust being thrown down. Tiny being able to drop the Lion on top of the Clinks. Clinks will go down. That is 3 dead for the side of Dirtum versus
Radiant's
the
top
1 dead
tower
for the
is
side
under
of
attack.
NB. The gold change very, very, very in the way of Dirtum's favor. But both dusts were used at the very same time, so they are going to have to be a little bit conservative. These dust wards were also put down by Phoenix in the mid there to try to deward any sort of vision they had that allowed them to get that gank. So 8-3 at 12 minutes here. Dirtum is kind of slightly behind. I guess we can go to the CS charts now with 5.1k out on the Tiny. With the highest on the Radiant being 4.2k on this Chaos Knight. Not really trailing with a lot of items, but he's got items. Looks like they want to try and go on this Night Stalker here.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Not low enough to end up getting scouted out by this Phoenix dive. They aren't going to go anything else here. A little bit of greed coming out by the Lion. They do know that the wards are there. Lion doesn't have, he does actually have a Tango. He Tangos out the Sentry, but it's too late. He's actually getting bursted upon here. The wards still go down here. Invis Tony right there, throws him right on top. Looks like the egg will be dedicated here. They are going to have to take it out, and that will be a free egg. Actually going to Lion instead here. A lot of people getting angry on their team if he just took that, but he's going to keep on moving. Tony being tossed in. He's going to try and kill the Chaos Knight. Chaos Knight has an armlet now, so he's going to be able to durable himself out of that whole entire fight there. Chaos Knight looking to try and re-engage here. Doesn't have an ultimate here. Level 8, so he's 4-4-0. He's got no HP here. And gotta be a little bit careful. Toss going out. Top the range creep on the Huza. And they're just going to reset here. Meanwhile, Faceless Void getting his farm back on top while everyone else is busy in the other lanes. So, good on him. Good on him.
Radiant's top tower is under
Looks like
attack.
they're trying to converge on this near-death Night Stalker. They're pinging out, so there's gotta be wards here, but Night Stalker didn't pay attention to it. He will end up dying to this Clinks no matter what the case is. Oh my gosh, he lives with the... Oh my goodness. Little to no HP, less than 12 HP at that time from the Clink's arrows, and does not end up dying. Something that would have ended up making the difference, and it was a very small difference, but still would have made a difference, was possibly getting the... Faceless Void, Chronos, the air, and won't find anything here. Everyone's ready for a little fight right now. Even DP ult was dedicated. Faceless Void jumping right on top of Chaos Knight. Chaos Knight will go down. Phoenix does not have egg. That's something that they don't know. Tony is losing a lot of HP here, but it's not Tony that's going to die. Looks like it'll be the Faceless. Not going to be the case, actually. Lion, everyone's ready for a fight here. Meanwhile, Terrorblade is still farming the bottom out. Faceless not going to try and re-engage. They are going to let the DP ult expire. And they're going to let it go down in the mid here. They're going to have to defend this tower if they want to end up trying to capitalize off of this pre-used DP ult here. Actually, DP ult will go down within like seconds here. And it looks like it will be a dead Vengeful Spirit actually by this Tony toss combo. And Clinks, he's got a DD, he's right on top of everybody. Faceless Void, he's not too quick, he can die almost immediately. He just relocates, so now the fight side. Looks like Lion ult will be dedicated. The Lion will end up going down. Looks like the Faceless will also go down, or the arrow will land. But meanwhile, Night Stalker diving really hard. He wants to try and kill Huza, but Huza doesn't have any way to outlive him here.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
really
attack.
hard spot here. He actually, he swells through and actually gets the kill. But he's got to be a little bit careful here. The Clinks still has his DD. Swap is not available, actually. He's not even 6 yet. which is actually really bad for this Vengeful Spirit. They can't get these easy initiation kills that they wanted.
Radiant's
Meanwhile,
bottom
Terrorblade
tower
is
is
pushing
under
that bottom
attack.
here. Tony, again, just being able to
Radiant's
kill off the
bottom
Vengeful
tower
Spirit
has
in the mid.
fallen.
And again, you know, Terrorblade, he just got the free tower on bottom here. Blink Dagger is up on the Tiny, which I guess is how they got the kill. But looks like they're going to have the Terrorblade come in here, and they're going to take out the tower from backdoor protection. And yeah, that's what's happening here. This tower will not be able to last unless they have some sort of immediate answer to this. And
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Ult does go down here, lands directly. Oh, the stun goes out. Steel, he is going to end up going down. AFK pops his ult. Super defensive ultimate there, so that's actually good and bad. Phoenix will get through it, but will not have ulti for another minute and a half. So this will be very interesting to see how Durden will try to recover from this. With his Chaos Knight, he's got his armor. He's actually got very high. He's trying to give out Skyfall, but it's not going to be the case. Everyone is silenced over on the side of the TV here. Night Stalker looks like he is going to go down here. Tiny will go down. Chaos Knight, he's going to armor toggle up. Make sure that he's He's trying to live. Right click's going out by Skyfall. Faceless Void Chronos. And it looks like they found the right one, but there's nothing else they can really do here. Phoenix takes a bash and might end up dying here. Not too careful. Does end up dying as well, but meanwhile, Night Stalker getting another kill here, preventing a teleport, I think. And there's no mana-based things available. He gets the pick off really quickly, but he's actually dusted, so they gotta try and fight as much as they can. Skyfall getting the last hit with the void and making it to where that was easy 4v3 trade for the side of Durdum here, but a lot of experience still going to Durdum despite losing. Actually, they got the most out of the gold change and the most damage done, which means they ended up taking people out that had more killing sprees than the other team. That's something that they need to be a little bit more careful of next time. They're sacrificing a lot.
Radiant's middle tower
actually
is
do let the Chaos Knight come back in here though. And Chaos Knight has no other support, but looks like TPO and sounds like TPO is being dedicated. He will end up going down to a right click. Faceless Void, he is silenced, does relocate nearly all of his health that he lost in that team fight there with line. But he's low HP, so once he can probably turn this actually. Tiny is going to do that exactly. Turn and kill that down. Stupid bird. Here we go. And oh, dedicated. There it is. Just like I called it. Line will end up taking the death prop. More people in here. They're actually going to keep on dying. Vengeful swap will go out. Tiny does blink out. And they are going to be able to get out of this perfectly fine. And meanwhile, they're just letting this Terrorblade free farm top as much as he wants. He's free farming as everything and anything he ever wants. He is going to build a Yasha, so he will go into this Dragon Lance, into more of his agility items and so on and so forth. Faceless Void, level 12, actually, he doesn't really have any items. We'll go for a Blink Dagger, so this is the offlane build for a safe lane attack. And meanwhile, all the lanes are being pushed in pretty heavily. All 4 dire heroes that are carry-based are all on the top leaderboards right now.
Radiant structures
Faceless Void needs to be a little bit careful here. He doesn't know where the Clinks is, and Death Prophet is coming in. There is no ult available.
Radiant's
they are
top
saying we gotta get
tower
out
is
of here.
under attack.
Night Stalker does have Aghanim at the gem combo, so he will be able to deal as much support damage as he wants at this point. Night Stalker will end up being in the mid here. Level 11, so he does have a pretty good set on his ultimate here. They're picking out that they see Tony coming around the corner here with his regen.
Radiant's top
They gotta
tower
be a
is
little
under
bit
attack.
careful here. Both sides need to be careful. Tony doesn't know that they see him right here. Well, actually they do.
Radiant's middle
DP will
tower
deny
has
the mid
been
tower.
denied.
It looks like they end up finding the Clinks, but there is no gem available. The Night Stalker is not close enough. But the Globability Vision is allowing them to see it, but it doesn't really matter. Faceless Void getting a nice team at Chrono. But the Phoenix is moving up pretty well. That's not going to actually happen. Death Prophet will end up going down here. Faceless will go down. Phoenix Tank is dead. Skyfall will end up hitting the Phoenix, but at what cost? He's going to lose the gem at this point. Gem will end up going down. Oh no! He saves him at the last second, but Clint's might actually be able to catch him. And he's got to be a little bit careful. Terrorblade, instead of getting ult right here, he will end up killing. Chaos Knight will actually go down here. They're going to try. Oh, it's not going to happen. Terrorblade will DPS down the Sphinx, and they are going to take out this mid as quickly as they can here. Tony trying to find another kill. GG being called out by the Chaos Knight. I'm pretty sure that means it's the end of the game.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yes, here's the game.
Dire.
Alright. That is game 1 today, everybody. Durdum versus NP. 19 minutes, 43 seconds, 26 kills to 9. Massively dominated the game that I thought we weren't going to win against this Chronosphere lineup, but they ended up winning perfectly fine, and they didn't really have much of a problem. They left the heroes to free farm as much as they could, and the Night Stalker and Tony just getting a lot of kills on the other hand there. So that is a very sad way to end up losing in this draft here. I felt like Durham had the outdraft, but they didn't play correctly. And they ended up giving up a lot of kills very early into the game. So that's game 1 for today, everybody. Tune in for more games later today as I'm going to cast some more. So I hope to see you next time, and get ready for the next game. Goodbye. Hello, everybody. This is Party Petey, and I hope you have enjoyed this casting session. If you want to see more, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe, and then further investigate into the playlist. As throughout this week, we will probably have more clips of international casting games. So with that, we will see you next time for some more Dota 2 casting. It's been Party Petey signing off.